In a world full of panic, chaos, worry, there's only one man who I feel can reunite us all.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 29th Joy of Painting series.
I feel like with everything going on right now, we could all use a little bit of positivity, and there's literally nothing more positive in this world than Mr. Bob Ross.
And beat the devil out of it.
Now, I've done a few Bob Ross videos in the past, but this time there's a twist. I'm going to be following Bob Ross's tutorial with none other than alcohol markers and maybe a few paint markers. Alright, so the title of this episode is called Island in the Wilderness, Season 29, Episode 1.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 29th Joy of Painting series.
So starting off, of course, I'm not using a canvas today. Instead, I am using Ohuhu marker paper in 120 pounds. And I'm also going to be using some alcohol-based markers.
Let's get started. I thought today we'd just do a very simple little scene that I hope you'll enjoy. Let's start with a little 2-inch brush and a touch of the alizarin crimson. And we just load a little bit right into the bristles. Pull a little paint out. Tap the bristles firmly, take this old brush, and just making little X's, little crisscross strokes. We'll just very quickly drop in just a little warm part in the sky here.
Okay, so starting off, I'm just gonna do a nice wash of pink. Nothing too crazy, just like a nice wash. Now, the reason I'm not doing X's is because markers work differently. Like, it would be too hard for me to like do that. So I'm just gonna do one fluid motion. And boom, step 1 is already done. It's already looking like a masterpiece.
Once again, just tap a little color into it, and let's go back up here. And still using our little crisscross strokes, X's. That's all they are, little X's. We'll just apply a little bit of the phthalo blue. Something about like so. Little stringy cloud just lives right there in the brush. And that easy. Good.
Alright, so now we're gonna create the sky, and I have to be very careful with this because pink and blue do not intertwine with each other. So gotta be very careful to not mix them because it'll turn brown. So I have to be very careful they don't touch.
Let's have some water in this painting. I love water, and it's very easy to paint in this style. Still water is always level. And I think today we'll have still water, so pour from the outside in. Outside in.
Oh shoot, he's adding water.
Like so.
Oh shoot, okay, so this brings us to our first problem.
I wouldn't say problem.
Our first difference when it comes to oil versus markers. Oil paint's drying time is anywhere from minutes to months of drying. In fact, my paint palette from last video is still not dry. While on the other hand, we have markers which dry instantly. Oh heck yeah, the chisel technique works so good for this. And boom, I think we're off to a pretty good start, and that's saying a lot.
I'm just putting a little Prussian blue in each corner to darken it. And then the most fun part of this whole technique.
Oh, here it comes, here it comes.
Brushes. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. That's really the most fun part of it. Now with a clean brush, just relatively, take a little white, a little bit of the blue. Here, watch it, watch it. It's fun. Just take the corner of the brush and just pull down. Something about like so. Straight down, straight down. I'll make it look like little distant trees live far back in the distance. And we'll come back and just put another little layer in here. Just touching and pulling downward. That's all we're doing.
I just want to say I'm like working in extreme hyper speed right now. That's the thing with markers is you have to work so fast because once it's dry, it's dry. You know, your best bet of blending is when it's still wet.
Let's see, let's take some black. And maybe in our world, there lives, it does now, some little trees back in here. Now these are a little closer. You're seeing a little more detail, a little more distinct.
Oh, he's just like going all in there, you know, with all the trees.
Some of that same color, we'll take a 2-inch brush touch and pull down. Just pull straight down. It's most important that it goes straight down. Something like so. And very lightly go across.
Okay, there's no going back. One flick at a time. Oh my gosh, that was so incredibly stressful.
Let's put a little water line. For that, we'll use a liquid white. Pull it out very flat, flat as you can get it. Cut across, okay? And we can go right up in here. And we can just drop in just a little water line. Just a happy little water line that lives back in here somewhere. We don't know where it is. Imagination is, it's like any other muscle in your body, or like a muscle in your body. The more you practice, the better it becomes.
This actually brings us to the next difference between markers and oil paint. With oil paint, you can put highlights directly on top of dark colors. Now with markers, obviously you can't put light colors on top of dark colors and expect it to build a highlight. So I'm gonna have to switch up markers and go to paint markers. Paint markers are really, really nice. Let's add a little highlight here. It's like soaking into the paper. Yeah, that is looking so good. And boom, highlight is done.
Let's have a little evergreen tree. He lives right there, see? Just make a line, take the corner of the brush, make a touch. Make another one, and just sort of work from the center out. There it goes. It's easier to do them fast than it is slow, though. Here they come. We'll have one more in there. There we go. I have a little family of trees. You know, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody should have a friend. Even a tree. Even a tree needs a friend.
Oh, my heart. Oh. On that note, let's create some happy little trees. Now, I don't have a fan brush, but I'm gonna literally turn my marker over and like stamp the side of it to kind of replicate that X thing that he does. I think that might work. It's working. Oh my gosh. That should tell you something. Like, Bob is such a good teacher that even like in markers, a completely different medium, I feel like I'm still killing it. Go, Bob. All right, so next up.
Because we don't make mistakes here. We have happy accidents. Take the big brush, pull down, straight down once again, and then go across. And we have instant reflections. I just use that same fan brush. It has that color we made the tree out of it. And I go through cad yellow and a little yellow ochre. And let's go back and put some highlights on our little evergreen trees. There they go.
Again, I'm gonna go in with a paint marker to try to build up some highlights and give the painting some dimension. All right, so same situation. I'm gonna go in and just dot it. Oh, this is a lot harder. I'm gonna have to use my finger to kind of diffuse it. Oh, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree. Oh, I love it. God, I love Bob Ross. He just brings so much joy to my life.
We got to figure out something to do on the other side now. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. You know, if you've painted with me before, I like old big trees. Take the corner of the old 2-inch brush, and let's just begin laying in a basic shape here for a tree that lives right there. Right there. Tell you what, maybe let's do something about like this. Now I want to put some leaves on here. Use just the corner of the brush. Just the corner of the brush. Wherever you want them. Wherever. You really are the creator on this piece of canvas. You can do anything.
So this might be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to replicate the shadows here. Ah, crap. Honestly, these paint markers are a godsend, don't you think, Bowie?
With our brush we were making the bushes with, and we'll settle those right down into the painting. There now, see? Now they become part of the painting. There we go. Shoot, if we had such a place as that, I'd have to go fishing there. I like to fish. But I'm not a very good fisherman. I catch a little fish and take the hook carefully out of his mouth and put a Band-Aid on him, a little CPR, and pat him on the tutu and put him back in the water and go back and catch him again another day.
Oh my God, I literally cannot handle this man. He's so adorable and precious.
Let's have a
So if you didn't catch that, the next step is basically just to add a bunch of highlights all over the trees, kind of build a foreground, kind of build into the background. And I'm using that same technique of getting the paint marker and kind of dabbing the ink that's inside of it onto the trees to kind of build up like that nice shadow, since I absolutely cannot get it with the alcohol markers. And while I was doing this, I was thinking to myself, I'm basically creating a Bob Ross art piece with no oil paint, with no paintbrushes. Like, this is a lot harder than I originally thought, to be honest.
You have something on the other side of the path. Now let's go on this side. Once again, I'm going to take a 1-inch brush. Notice that it's straight down and I'm pulling it in one direction. It's most important. That loads a lot of paint, and see, it rounds one edge. You want to turn it and put that rounded edge to the top. And we go right up in here. No pressure hardly. Just enough to get the brush to touch the canvas. And we begin working on shape and form, and we create a bush or a tree that lives right there. That's all there is to it. Put a little bright red on there. Maybe here's one right here. Oh yeah, it's got little, I don't know if you can see them, it's got little red flowers on the tip. Sneaky. There, I'm gonna put a little stick lives right there, a little old tree. And let's come down here, we'll make a few more in here, wherever. You decide where they live.
God, I can't believe he created like that whole entire thing in 25 minutes. Ooh, this is actually gonna be really hard because like, there is no way I'm able to make that.
Touching, barely, let it graze, that easy.
Pattern with markers. There we go. I guess I'll go in with like a white color and just like dab. Ooh, this is really difficult. I'm gonna add a little stick right here. Careful with it, nothing too crazy. It's weird how the brown is darker than the actual like dark gray. That's weird. Gonna go in, add a little bit of sticks here, a little something something here.
And lastly, I wanted to clean it up as best as I could, so I spent a long time blending out the sky. I added a little bit more details to make it look like it was less done with, you know, markers. And a little bit reluctantly, here is the final design. I am incredibly proud of the reflections. This little area right here, I think I did a great job. The trees, it was very hard to build up, especially not using oil. But I love Bob Ross, and I truly just needed to, you know, have some relaxing, fun, mess around time. Anyway guys, thank you so much again for watching. Please stay safe, please take care, and I will gladly see you guys next video. Bye.
Until then, from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.